It's a Hall of Fame Wednesday on Halftime. We only have one of our Hall of Fame guests with us today, and that's Grant Hall, Hall of Fame sports writer, joining us every Wednesday on Halftime. And Grant, it's good to have you today. What's up?
Well, excuse me, let's start with the LPGA tournament, which is at Pinnacle and Rogers this week, and their pro-ams today and tomorrow. They think that it's supposed to get a little bit cooler each day, but it may rain Thursday and Friday. The big news, of course, today, Stacy Lewis breaking the news that this is her last full-time season on the LPGA Tour. She may play different events here and there, but I talked to her and her caddy yesterday because what happened was last week Grant Boone on the Golf Channel had mentioned that she might be, come to the end of her playing career, and they had not heard that, but now Stacy has put it out this morning, So I know you said you'd already read the news also, but I know she practiced 2 hours in 92-degree heat yesterday. Man. Excuse me. And she wants to make this a good one. She says she's making a few more putts. Had a pretty good week last week. Leads the Arkansas delegation, Gabby Lopez, Maria Fossey, Maria Jose Marine, and Kendall Todd are all playing. Have I still got you guys? I just heard something.
Yeah, you're loud and clear here, Grant.
Okay. It's interesting. I talked to Christina Kim, who at 41 still wants to play more. She says she'll know when it's time for her to retire, but she tried to qualify Monday at the Blessings for this thing, and she shot even par and did not make it, but she played with Kendall Todd, who shot 66 at the Blessings to get in this tournament this week, and she hadn't even gone to Q school yet. Kendall finished her Arkansas career this year and is turning pro. So it's kind of a free one for her, She gets to play for the money this week at Pinnacle before even getting her LPGA Tour card or trying to. So, and I think I left out Brooke Matthews, too. I saw her. So lots of, I guess, what is that, about 6 people with Arkansas connections there.
What's the old rule of thumb, Grant? You're 2 strokes better each side on your home track. Is that about right?
Well, I definitely think it helped the ones qualifying at the Blessings. That would have been a big advantage, and also at Pinnacle. I mean, Stacy's played here so much she didn't even need to play yesterday. She just practiced in the heat. And course knowledge is a big deal. But it's interesting, Matt, this year on tour, there have been 25 winners in 25 weeks, so no multiple winner on the LPGA Tour, and only 2 from America. Jennifer Kupcho, who's here, and Angel Yin. Those are the only 2 Americans who've won on this tour this year. So I'm sure all the ones that and one who hasn't, Lexi Thompson this year, who, wanted to kind of step away from full-time play, but she's played a lot of tournaments this year.
Grant, let's talk a little football. Let's talk about our athletic director and kind of get your thoughts on and kind of what we got to remember who he's speaking to, kind of what was said. When you kind of had time to digest it, what are kind of your thoughts on how that went at the Little Rock Touchdown Club?
Well, I talked to people yesterday, Matt. Some were glad to hear what he said. They thought that he was being candid. Others were apoplectic, that like it was a message to the football team. Hey, you can't win a national championship this year. I've heard there's a rumor that Hunter may be in line for an assistant commissioner job with the SEC. Who knows if that's true or if he would take it. There's this feeling of among people who, let's just say, moneyed interest in Arkansas that they are not going to be one of those teams that can have the money that he's talking about that you need these days to really be competitive in the SEC and nationally. And so that, you hear all kinds of stories about maybe bringing in a new AD and a new head coach, and maybe even taking a year to sort of figure out ways to get that kind of money before. And again, Sam Pittman, he thinks this is one of his better teams. He said that. I mean, I think he wants to coach a couple more years. I'm sure, like to be here next year. But if you do have a new athletic director, I mean, if you're going to have a new head coach at some point, I'm sure you'd like to have an athletic director in place to hire that coach. You see where I'm going?
Well, usually,
here?
if you do, when you do get a new athletic director, he's going to bring in his own guy.
Yeah, that's right, and sort of look around and get the lay of the land and figure out if this state, if there really are money interests willing to do the kind of what you have to do these days in college football. I mean, Hunter told us the other day that Arkansas already, the money that Arkansas has, it's a lot, but it's not enough to compete with those that are up there, $200-300 million, whatever it is. I mean, we've heard these crazy figures. Hunter told us that Texas Tech, what is it? They got $55 million or something for their roster. Texas about 40, and who knows what it is at the top level of the SEC. So whether there are people out there with the will to do that and try to fight fire with fire, I don't know. And can you tap into those people, find them, and if they want to be part of this thing at Arkansas?
I was listening to him from Monday. I keep going back to a statement that I'll say every once in a while. You don't have to like the world that you live in, but you have to accept it exists, and you have to live within that world. You can't make up some pie in the sky world where everything's going to be on the up and up. And that's the world that I'm going to live in and operate in because I operate with only integrity, and that's where I come from. I can appreciate that idea, but that is not the world that college sports is. And it wasn't, maybe they thought that was the world it was going to go to, and they were just waiting for July 1st, just waiting so that everything would be fair once again, which, of course, it never was fair to begin with, Grant. So, I mean, it's kind of a conversation that I think people have been having in college football for a long, long time. It's just now you're hearing about this third way, which we all know about, and you can see through the contortions on Hunter's face. He doesn't want to do that, but you kind of have to, and they might be a little bit late to the party on it.
Yeah, given the current circumstances and the people who currently are giving money to Arkansas, would people, if you had a change in those two positions or one of them, would that change? I don't know. I have no idea what it's like to be at that level of money, but that is what I'm hearing discussed this week.
Well, then there's a football game coming up on Saturday against Memphis, Grant, and when you're watching Talon Green in these first three games, where are you seeing improvements, and do you think it's improvements that he's made specifically, or is this improvements that the coaching staff made with the personnel? Is it being in the offense for a second? What are you seeing from Talon right now and why he looks better?
Well, I think it's just probably the comfortability. Second year with Bobby Petrino, they're pretty good together. And as Sam said this week, nobody else has Talon Green. I've always liked him. I think sometimes he fixates on a target. He had those 2 interceptions in that one game in short order. But as far as his running, I mean, what is it, 10, 11 yards a carry, something like that? And, you kind of hold your breath every time he takes off. But that's just a great weapon. And so as long as he's healthy, this team's going to have a really good offense. And then can the defense come along? I mean, that's the question. I mean, I think I read this stat, guys, that 17 of the 25 first downs given up last week Ole Miss had, of those 17, of the 25 first downs, 17 were on either 1 or 2 downs. Didn't even take them to third down. So that has to improve, obviously.
Well, I expect it would improve, Grant, because I don't know if it could get too much worse from this. How do you from the first half? There was an improvement in the second half, wasn't there?
And in Memphis,
yeah, there was, and that's because they were losing the chess match with Lane Kiffin. And so look, let's just go play the way let's play this way, and they cut down on that some in the second half. But Memphis has won 24 of 29. They've got a 6-year quarterback. They've got good special skills people. I see Arkansas as a 7.5-point favorite. This game to me is huge, and Memphis is going to be putting a lot into it. And so I know everybody's wanting to look ahead to Notre Dame, but you can't do that. You got to win this one first.
You know, hopefully they're practicing good habits this week, and that's what I was going to say, Grant. Memphis is a lot better team than Arkansas State. You just had a late night game, and you exhausted yourselves putting forth, maximum effort, and you come up a little bit short, and then you get Notre Dame next week. And so it's only, how young kids are, 20, 21-year-old kids, you kind of look ahead. You're kind of, you're looking for consistency, not peaks and valleys right now. I'm a little nervous about this Arkansas-Memphis game. How do you see it going? I think Arkansas wins, but I don't think it's just going to be some game where, and hopefully we start off good, but I don't think it's going to be like a 30-point blowout type of win.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game. I think if you go there and win by 1 point, you celebrate and start working for Notre Dame, which has its own issues. They're playing Purdue this week, and Barry Odom's won a couple of games there already. So they certainly don't want to go 0-3. But regardless of the records, it'll be a great spectacle. Arkansas's never played Notre Dame. It's about time they did it, and of course you got 2 11 o'clock games the next 2 weeks. So fans are going to have to get ready to peak early.
Hey, Grant, to finish here, I want to go back to where you started about Stacy Lewis, two-time LPGA Player of the Year, then won a couple of majors, long career. Where does Stacy Lewis stand in the pantheon of great Razorback athletes in professional sports? Because it would seem she would be in that maybe top 10 all time.
Oh yeah, she's up there at the very top. I mean, what she's done in terms of being a winning Solheim Cup captain, she's got so much respect on that tour. And really, to do it, as she said, when she came here, she wasn't even sure she could play golf. I mean, she had scoliosis, couldn't play for a year, and then to come and really one of the great swings. I mean, Brandel Chambly said one time he thought she had the best swing, man or woman, in professional golf. And I watched her for quite a while yesterday, and she had maybe a few foul balls, but not very many. I mean, she still hits it great. I think in the last few years it's been more a matter of putting with her, and she's doing better with that. So I look for her to have a good week this week. It kind of be a celebration of her career, and I hope a lot of people can get out there and see it.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.